Styria, the green heart of Austria. For more than 2,500 years, wine growing has been a distinguishing feature of the southern part of this state. What began with the Celts cultivating vines growing wild has developed, by means of tradition, intertwined with the law of constant trying and testing, doing and learning, into sophisticated wine growing. These marvelous hillsides are filled with the experience and hard work of hundreds of generations of wine growers. It is hard to put the wines of this region into categories, owing to the numerous quality wines here. Yet there is one single wine grower who has more than earned the rating of a world-class wine: Wальтер Скофф. From the unassuming address of Ekberg 16, top-quality wines are exported all over the world. The Skoff family has for generations formed their own philosophy about this magnificent juice of the wine. Wine is a living thing, just like a human being, and each wine grower has the nurturing and growth of his own wine well in hand. Culture is momentous here, and it is above all the love of this fascinating product that is decisive for the international success of Skoff wines. Although thousands of liters are able to leave the winery each year, Wальтер Скофф can legitimately claim that each and every drop of this juice of the vine has turned out exactly as he planned. There is no beginning and no end in the cycle of a year for wine growers. Each season has its own particular meaning in the development of a wine. We wine lovers often focus our concentrations on the autumn, on that time of year when the ripe grapes are picked and pressed. Yet the growth of each grape up to the point of picking has had a decisive influence on its quality. Even in the winter, at a time when hardly any tourists or aficionados would visit a wine grower, there is work to be done in the vineyards. No trace of life can be detected on the barren vines, and yet these chores are a significant piece of the mosaic that is the life of a wine. Nevertheless, the diligence and manual labor that goes into a vineyard in the course of a year are seldom appreciated by the future connoisseur. The grapes are examined repeatedly before they are finally picked. They are checked carefully, and anything that could diminish quality is removed before the harvest. Only the best and most flawless of grapes will then remain on the vine. Everything that could even bring forth the slightest decrease in quality is eliminated to let the fruitful soil and the power of the sun reach the most promising grapes. The superior premise of quality rather than quantity is vital here and is adhered to without a compromise. Harvest time. Now life in the whole region revolves around wine. Visitors and tourists flock to the region to enjoy the astonishing landscape and all its cultural and culinary specialities. Now we're at our busiest. On the hillsides, unnoticed by the guests, the wine grower is reaping the rewards of his hard work. The grapes are picked. This is work no machine could ever do. A keen hand for working and a sharp eye for the basics are essential now. Everybody has a job to do. The exact time of harvest, as well as the final selection that is made here, is exceptionally important for the progress of the grapes on their way to becoming wine. In the end, Wальтер Скофф picks only the best and most flawless of grapes. The wine grower himself monitors this process to the last detail, for from that time on, he hardly has any influence on the quality of the grapes, which are the raw material for his top quality wines. In addition to the joy of having a good harvest, one can already sense a feeling of anticipation in the air. In spite of the most modern possibilities of quality control, the decades of experience, and the routine of it all, there is still a certain amount of unpredictability. And that is no small wonder, for wine is a living thing. Now it's all about the knowledge and routine of the workforce. Each helper knows his every move and absolutely nothing is left to chance. What is being transported is much too precious. Without any sign of stress, for culture is being produced here. Yet like a clockwork, the grapes are transported from the vine to the wine grower's own cold store. Wальтер Скофф was one of the first Styrian wine growers to have recognized the importance of immediate cooling, and bearing that in mind, had a cold storage built. Keeping the picked grapes warm too long would lead to a considerable loss of quality in the resulting wine. And that is something that a grower of quality wines cannot afford. The wine press. Wine presses have always been a key factor in making wine. There is hardly another winemaking tool that has changed so much throughout the years. The old massive presses of yesteryear are just decorations now. They can be admired in museums. What is called for now is the most modern technology to maintain constant quality. As soon as the grape has been removed from the influence of the sun, the wine grower's precision work begins. Free from external influences such as rain, hail, or frost, Wальтер Скофф now has the development of his wine in his own hands. What happens next is kept behind closed doors, the secrets and details of which are handed down from generation to generation. This experience and knowledge is too precious and is innate to the instinct of a good wine grower. And it is this knowledge that is recognized and rewarded at presentations the world over. The wine cellar. Under the watchful eye of Wальтер Скофф, his wines are maturing to individuality in the wine cellar. Their character, style, and arrangement have been determined, and this world-renowned wine grower cultivates his wines year after year into the top-quality wines from the Skoff winery. Awards the world over, from New York to Tokyo, bear witness to the high quality of this product. The high degree of responsibility of measuring up to these standards can only be maintained by observing every single detail in the process of becoming a wine. Every move that is made within the course of a year on this quality product of wine has been minutely planned. Nothing is left to chance. For only then is it possible to offer the connoisseur exactly what he expects from wine from the house of Wальтер Скофф. Distinctively unmistakable taste and the highest quality conceivable.